Hi, my name is Wolf, and I want to show you what Spring Boot is all about. So here is a controller written in Groovy. Note that there are no import statements for Spring whatsoever, and you can just run this controller using Spring Boot. So using Spring Boot, the import statements are added, all the dependencies are downloaded, and here is the application. As you've seen, there were no dependencies defined, so Spring Boot figured out which dependencies to download and how to run the application just by looking at the Groovy code itself. For Java, things are a little bit different. So here is a Java controller with the usual import statements. And in this case, you can just run the application because in the main method, Spring Boot is started. And you can see that the application works. For Java, the system is based on Maven and Maven dependencies. So if you look at the Maven dependencies here, first of all, there is a parent POM that this POM inherits from, and then there are the dependencies. In our case, it's a web application that we're using. You can add other dependencies here. So for example, you can add a dependency to use Jetty instead of Tomcat. And if you run the application now, you will notice that the application now uses Jetty, and you can actually see that in the output. So here it says that Jetty is used. Okay, now what you can also do is you can add more dependencies, and you can add this dependency, for example, and this gives you some metrics. So if you start the application now, it will actually give you some metrics. So the application itself is not changed, but if you add health to the URL, you will see that the application is okay. And if you add metrics, you will see that additional metrics are available. How can you actually deploy such an application? That's not too hard. So if you go to the directory of the application and you use Maven package, then all the dependencies are built and you end up with a jar file that can be started using the Java command line. So this jar file includes the server, Jetty in our case, the application, all the Spring dependencies, and you end up with the well-known application that we've seen before. So in my opinion, Spring Boot is quite interesting. First of all, it makes use of embedded servers, and embedded servers are quite a nice technology and are more and more in use today. Also, it makes using Spring much more easy. It gives you all the Spring features, all the Spring libraries you will ever need.